Well, hellos, everybody. Hope you are having a great day. So, I'd like to welcome all the viewers to my daily noon show. In today's episode, I am very frustrated, but we'll get to that in a moment, and I'll say why. But for now, I would just like to thank each and every one of you viewers out there for tuning in to this show. I know that time zones make it hard, and I do appreciate the viewers that look at this show after it actually aired. So, and on another note, not on the same note, I just would like to reiterate that I am looking for a co host for these daily shows. So if you've looked at already a couple of my daily shows, uh, I do tend to get up often to take care of my little kitty cats, which I really don't like doing. It puts a 1 minute to 2 minute pause in every of my videos, which I know a lot of you viewers will tune out. And I don't want that. It's not the only reason. It's also more enjoyable to be able to talk to somebody about a subject and exchange ideas and opinions and point of views on any given subject. So, just as a reminder, I am looking for you. You might not think that this is for you. It could be. You'll never know until you give it a try. So, yes, I would enjoy a co host. And once more, I will plead you to like, share, and subscribe these videos. It would greatly help out the channel. Channel is picking up momentum as of late, and I would like to keep the momentum going. So even if you think that no, your clicking the button is not going to change anything, it every time somebody clicks, it exposes it to more people. And out of those individuals, somebody else might like it and expose it to even more people, and that's how the channel grows. Okay, so what has got me peeved today? I am mad beyond belief. I started watching Ahsoka. I was so looking forward to this. Dave Filoni's baby being Ahsoka, apparently. No, I'm sorry to say, I will get into some of the points here that I will cover in another video dedicated to Ahsoka, review, recap, and so many things are getting on my nerves. I 5 minutes into it or 10 minutes into this show, I was like, okay, Dave Filoni, no longer Filoni. He is a felony and a phony. I'm sorry, I don't want to be mean to anybody, but he completely lost what Ahsoka's character was about. Yes, character development, character. I don't know how to put this. The character arc has to go through changes. But in this case, I am not even recognizing the character from the Clone Wars to the Rebels to whatever this is now. And this is not a critique of the actress that plays. I mean, Rosario Dawson, for the longest time, I've been a fan of her work. And not necessarily her person. I don't care about personalities. I like what she did in a many other shows that I've watched her do. And yes, I do have a peeve with the fact that we did not um, take into account here the original voice actress for Ahsoka. Now, getting back to the topic of this Ahsoka show on Disney Plus, yes, the character is getting on my nerves. I'm not recognizing the character. They've It's like, okay, well, she's my favorite character and I don't really have a script or an idea, but we'll just wing it. It really felt like that. I watched the first season of Rebels, at which point it seemed that people were not interested in it, so they brought back a member berry, Ahsoka, to try and revamp the animated series Rebel. And they figured, you know what, we'll do the same thing with The Mandalorian. So she had an appearance in The Mandalorian. I am so sad for this character. This was my favorite character since Luke Skywalker. As a kid, I watched Luke through the first 3 initial movies. I liked the character development, its arc, and strangely enough, I started watching. Yes, it may be made for kids, but I started watching the Clone Wars animated series and I just fell in love with the Ahsoka Tano character playing Anakin's Padawan. And for me, this character had so many insight into her own emotions, her own point of views. She was a complete and total separate entity from everything else, and she had struggles within. Okay, you not necessarily want to repeat these struggles. And I do apologize, I have a cat here that's getting on my nerves. I apologize. I have to get into the habit of putting the cats inside while I do these shows because they just want to go in and out at the wrong moments. Okay, so getting back to Ahsoka, she was, how can I say, a very human character, having very real flaws, working on these flaws. But you can also see like her fragility on one side. And when she would get into combat, she was this machine. This ultimate warrior little girl wreaking havoc and really decimating anything, any foe that comes before her. Wow. So, a very balanced character on one hand, showing her fragility, and on the other side, the ultimate warrior combined into one character. And her struggles were really real. And they are turning her into an old divorced. I don't know. That's my impression of the character. She looks like an old divorced, bitter old woman. And yeah. I'm not liking her character in Ahsoka at all. She is out of character. That's why I kind of wished that we used the actress that actually voiced her in the animated series. I think she would have much more insight into the character than Dave Filoni. Having lived every line, having portrayed her for so long, I truly do think that that character voice actor would have more insight. Ashley Eckstein, hopefully I pronounced that right, has a lot more insight than Dave Filoni. Like I said, this is not a critique of Rosario Dawson. Love her. I just think that even if Rosario plays the character for X, Y, and Z star power bringing to the character, I get it. I think that Ashley needs to be writing the scripts because Dave Filoni might be an historian, might have, but the script and the portrayal and the director, it's not his chair, it's not his cup of tea. He clearly, either I think Stardom kind of wrecked, absolute power absolutely corrupts. I think this is the case in this instance. So, as to the show, it opens up and it is a straight copy and a very bad copy of that, of The Last Hope, or The New Hope. Yeah, The New Hope. Where you get this screen and this text going up, but it's not even the same kind of text. It doesn't put you into any context. It's like random phrases that it's like spaghetti you throw on a wall, and hopefully people will make sense or give it a sense to whatever's written there. And the background music while that's going on doesn't really fit the universe. And then you get into this scene where Ray, a great actor who unfortunately passed away, does a great job with what he is given. But basically, it's a caricature of Darth Vader walking through the spaceship and lightsaber here and force wielding there. And it doesn't have the analog touch of having it filmed on a film. It's all digital, so everything just seems so clean in the corners. There's everything, I mean, the lighting is like, I think, too excessive, where everything is over brightened. So it kind of wants to capture the old viewers with this down memory lane scene that is a bad imitation. The action scenes are too short, too cut, that you don't really see the overall action. Like if you see somebody grabbing a gun and pulling it out and being nervous trying to confront whatever thing is in front of him, it's just, how did somebody put it out? It's cosplay and people just pretending. They're not really like real actors, they're just people imitating what they see on screen. When you go around and you're like 5 or 6 years old and you play cowboy, it kind of feels like that. These are not real stunt actors, these are not real actors. Disney, what? Where did the budget go? Really? all throughout, I mean, certain scenes look like very game video. It even reminded me of some Indiana Jones clip. It is, I'm just getting into the first couple of scenes here, not liking it. Then we move to another scene where we have, yes, I'll get in, yes, I'm going to do a pause here because I am flooded with every single scene that they threw at me, upset me beyond belief. And I was just really trying to stay there and watch a show and just try to enjoy it. And I wanted to get through it and then have an opinion on it. But all throughout, every scene just threw stuff in my direction that got me out of it. You have this scene where we built this thing, and it's a painting of a cartoon, and everybody's around it, celebrate the victory of the rebellion over the empire. Okay. We are trying to present this person who's on a speeder doing whatever she wants to do. She comes across as a spoiled brat, and strangely enough, this character had an arc in the Rebels animated series, and yet it's as if she never had an arc, has no maturity. She comes across as a late 20s individual. Maybe it's because of the age of the actress and she actually plays somebody below 20, a teenager. I don't know. It's not really explained, but she looked like mid 20s to early, late, mid to late 20s. And she acts like a spoiled brat. And you have this blaring punk rock music blaring on the scene where she's going away. The music takes you out of a Star Wars universe. This character that did have an arc is behaving like somebody 10, 15 years younger than she actually is. Apparently she's half Mandalorian, half Jedi Padawan, half everything. She's the best at everything. And behaves like this just throws me off. And then her interaction with Ahsoka is like a mother-daughter relationship that feels forced, doesn't feel natural. And knowing the character of Ahsoka in previous animated series, it just throws me off in so many directions. I really, really was angered. I'm sorry to say I never finished Rebels. I started watching it, and I don't remember back in the day if it was. I had a conflict. I couldn't watch every show, so I would glimpse it here and there and not be able to follow the overlying arc and storyline. If there was one, because nothing made any sense. We are looking for this character, or there's references to Ezra, and yet, sad to say, it's not really well explained what happened to him, why everybody has feelings towards him. Yes, I've seen Rebels, so I kind of know that he was the main protagonist in that series at some point. but it's not explained. So somebody who hasn't finished watching the Rebels series or just caught some episodes here and there and was confused as to what the main story was about. And I come into this show and I still have no clue what's going on. Lately, a lot of people have been talking about Thrawn. So for the past 6 months, I'm a little bit acquainted with what's going on there. I did see a couple of episodes with him in it, which seemed interesting. He seemed like an interesting villain. Unfortunately, they're looking for him and we don't get to see him, so the first 2 episodes came out. I still have yet to be able to watch the second episode. I am so frustrated by the first one. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I don't usually get this upset or this frustrated. It's just that I rarely love a character as much as I liked Ahsoka Tano. It was very hard for me defending the Clone Wars franchise or it being more than just for kids and trying to explain to friends and viewers why this character was so well written, so well portrayed. Sometimes in the universe, everything comes together and shines on a particular moment, event, and unfortunately, that magic is gone. I was really looking forward to it. I was giving it the benefit of the doubt. And everything's so confusing because after Order 66, there shouldn't be any Jedi. Ahsoka left the Jedi Order. She was no longer Jedi, so that could kind of explain why she's still around. Just like Obi-Wan went into exile. And in this show, we don't exactly know, but it's hinted that 1 or 2 characters might be from the Jedi Temple Order that have switched over to the dark side. This is what we think happened. We don't exactly know. Like I said, I just saw the first show. Wow. Yeah, it feels good getting this off my chest, to be honest. I, throughout the entire show, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself here, it's not just one little thing that aggravates you. It's as if this is a joke. We know you like this character, and we are gonna put you through the ringer. So many little things that normally I can't even say you can brush them off. It's in your face. It's annoying as beep. And every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes, every 4 minutes, they're going to take you out, make you frustrated for little details, little things. Definitely, this show is not for me. I'm going to keep watching it because I am interested in knowing and trying to figure out what to do with this character. I don't think Ahsoka should have been in Rebels. They needed a member berry to try and get some viewership up. A lot of people were frustrated after the Clone Wars was canceled and try to get them hooked on Rebels. And then Dave Filoni took that character and tried to, I don't know what he's trying to do now. I just think that Disney under Kathleen Kennedy was so lost. Kathleen Kennedy found her boy toy, and here, you can do whatever you want with this character. And he is not a director, he's not a screenwriter, he's not a storyteller. And it's pretty obvious in season 3 of The Mandalorian, and this is pretty much going the same way. It's always Your Highness this and Your Highness that. I mean, all these women, only women, always addressed by the title. Nobody has any real relationship with each other, no familiarity. It's always addressed by the title of power, then the woman's name. Your power title, and then your name. Okay, you can do it once, and you can kind of do it. You address somebody by their name, and later on, you can do a smirk, and you're general this, and yes, you're general that. You know, smirking but no, addressing everybody by their title, even though apparently they're best buddies, makes no sense. So, later on, after this show, I will continue watching and preparing my reviews. I'm happy to get it off my chest, although I feel like I'm going to get angered again as soon as I start doing this recap, reaction to the first episode. And I'm sorry if I seem very like a crybaby man. Man baby, man crybaby, whatever you want to call it. It's just sad. You know, it's like taking Sigourney Weaver out of Aliens and turning her into an 11-year-old crybaby brat, whatever you want to call it. And then fast forward her in time and she becomes this really grumpy old woman, walking with a cane, talking about the good old days and having it all wrong. So, yeah, that's my take on the Ahsoka first episode of this new series on Disney Plus. Not happy at all. So, okay, that's it for this show today. I hope you've been entertained a little bit. I don't get frustrated and upset very often, and this is me upset, really upset. Anyways, have any comments? Welcome your comments. Comment if there's any other topics you would like me to do, any future shows on. I'll gladly do it. And until then, be safe out there because, yeah, the world is getting crazier by the moment. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Uh, whether it is on Twitch, YouTube, come and talk to me in Discord. The links are in my profile. It's easy to find. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you again so much.